One sunny afternoon, a young girl named Emma sat beside her dad, George, in the garden. Emma looked up and asked, "Dad, how big is God?" George paused and smiled. "Well, that depends, my dear." Emma was curious and asked, "Why does it depend, Dad?" George pointed to a small bird flying high in the sky. "Emma, how big does that bird look to you?" he asked. Emma replied, "It's tiny, Dad. It looks so small from here." George nodded and then took Emma by the hand. They walked to the park where a large bird statue stood. Pointing at the statue, George asked, "Now, how big does this bird look?" Emma's eyes widened in amazement. "It's much bigger, Dad. This bird is very big." George smiled warmly and said, "You see, Emma, this is how it is with God. His size depends on how close or far you are from him. When you're far away, he may seem small and distant, but when you're close, you realize how truly great and magnificent he is." George looked at Emma with gentle eyes. "And remember, the closer you get to God, the smaller your worries and fears will seem." As they walked back home, Emma felt a new sense of understanding. She looked up at her dad with gratitude and said, "Thank you, Dad."